Welcome to a new video, and in this video I want to show you a run through, an overview over the settings of the OnePlus Nord and what makes it so special in comparison to other Android phones. So let's go to settings and let's check what we have here. First of all, we have the Wi-Fi network settings. These are pretty much the normal settings that you find on Android. There's a data usage setting here. We can see how much data I used via Wi-Fi or mobile, and I have the option to enable a hotspot, a Wi-Fi hotspot, or a Bluetooth tethering here, and I have a VPN and private DNS options as well. Under Bluetooth and device connection, I have normal NFC. I have a cast option, so I can connect to my television via wireless display support. I have tap and pay support for Google Pay, printing support, Chromebook connection support, nearby share, which is an option that should appear on your Android smartphones running Google services as well. It's a new option to share your files, and Android Auto as well. Then on the display we have some special things here, just like, for example, advanced and the refresh rate, where we can set the refresh rate to 90 Hz here for the OnePlus Nord, and we can go also back to 60 Hz. You can see there's no adaptive mode or something where it switches automatically between 60 and 90 Hz. It has either 90 or 60 Hz that you can set up here. We have the front camera display area that we can set here, which is nothing else than the notch. So we have the option to let it be like this, where you can see here the cutout for the cameras, or we can go into this mode where it cuts out everything, but you can see it's not very symmetrical, so it doesn't make much sense here, and this is why I want to choose this. I would also recommend this instead of the other one. Then we have apps to display in full screen, so we can check all those apps that need to be displayed in full screen. And I'm not sure why it's only showing one app here. It should be showing a lot more apps here as well. Then we have the night mode that we can set up here for turning on and off, like a schedule. We can let it turn it on and off automatically. We can set the color temperature and the brightness for the night mode. And we have a reading mode as well, which is like dimming down colors even, and we can turn on the reading mode, especially if you read with your smartphone. Very handy feature that will basically turn on the chromatic or mono effect. So you have various different effects here that you can turn on. You can see the color is now fading away here on this example picture. If I disable it, it should come back into life here. And yeah, this is the option for reading mode. Then we have vibrant color effect, where we can enable this. You can see here a nice preview that shows how it will look like. By default, the display is very vibrant already, so this is why it is turned off, but you can turn it on and then the display gets another color shift. I can show you this. This is without the vibrant color option on, and now let's go in here, turn it on, and this is with vibrant color option turned on. I'm not sure if you can notice any difference. I have it turned off because I don't like this effect so much. Then we have the ambient display here, which is nothing else than the always on screen display. It's not always on. Pick up your phone to show it, so it is not always on. Tap the screen to show is also here, so if I turn it off, we can see if I grab it, I have to pick it up. Now it shows. Or if I just simply double tap here, it will show up as well. So this is not an always on display, but yeah, some kind of hybrid that is in here. It has the option to show different things like contextual information, display a message if you want to. You can type in your message that you want to, and show new notifications or not. And you can also, of course, disable this here if you don't like this ambient display. You can set the font size here. You have a nice preview here as well. You can set the display size here, which is also interesting. So DPI basically, where you can set everything to bigger if you like to. And the status bar can be also configured, like, for example, the battery style. Right now you can see I have here on the top only a battery icon. If I want to have a battery circle, I can have a battery circle here And if I want to have battery hidden, I can even hide the battery. What I like to do is here show battery percentage. So if I turn it on, you can see I have now here in the top right corner, besides the battery, also percentage, which shows me all the time the percentage. If I have this disabled, I can also show the percentage just by dragging down the top navigation bar, and you can see the percentage here as well. So let's turn it on. We can also display the network speed if you want to. Then it will show the network speed here on the top bar as well. And we have the option to choose the time. Show hours and minutes is the default, but we can also switch to show hours, minutes and seconds. So it will also show our seconds on the top, as you can see here. And yeah, this can be freely configured, or you can also don't show this icon at all. It won't show the time at all, which is, I think, also pretty interesting. Then we have the icon manager, which allows us to set various different icons to be shown on the top bar. So you can see by default, all of them are active besides the auto rotate screen. And we can deactivate some that we don't want to show. Like for example, if I don't want to have my Bluetooth one, I can just disable it here, or my Volio or Wi-Fi one. Then we have the auto rotate screen, which is enabled in this case. We have a screensaver that we can use here, and we have the option to set the screensaver to various different options and when to start while locked. Then let's go out of the display. Let's go to customization, where we can customize a lot of the UI. Just like, for example, the theme. Right now we have a light theme. We can go into vibrant tints, which looks like this. Yes, apply this. It's not changing the theme. Now you can see it changed a bit, and we can go out here. I'm not sure if you can see anything that changed here. Probably the colors changed to a bit vibrant option. And we have also the option nuance dark. If you go into here, you can see a bigger change. It's now in a dark mode option. And yeah, also the notification and the icons here, the shape changed as well. And yeah, this can be set in here. Let me go to the illuminating light, the default one. And you can see here now the top bar quick toggles are now with rounded icons. And if I don't like the preset themes, I can just simply tweak them here. I can set the lock screen customization here, just like, for example, I can change my wallpaper to whatever I like to have. I can change the clock style. You can see we have various different clock styles here for the lock screen. I can also switch to an analog one if I like to. And I have the option to set the fingerprint animation. By default, it's this one here. I can go to this one. You can see a nice preview here. I can go to this one, or this one, or this one. I think I like this one. Say apply. And now if I go in here and double tap, I have this nice little fingerprint animation here. System customizations here, accent color I can choose. So it's this blue. If I like to have it green, I can change it to this green, and now I can see everything becomes green here instead of blue. Everything becomes green. I can change to orange or even red. So I can change the accent color, which default buttons and options use. Then the tone can be changed here as well to light or colorful or dark, which is basically the dark mode. And I have the option to change the system icons here. You can see I can go to the square icons. I can go to these icons that remind me of Safe Address a bit. So I can go to these icons here, or round rectangle, which is also pretty nice. And if I apply this, you can see now in the top toggle that it now has those kinds of icons. And I can go also to round rectangle, but I like the round ones for the top toggles. And I can do the same for icon packs. So I have the various different icon packs here. I have the oxygen icon pack. I can go to the hydro oxygen pack, or I can go on more, and then I can go to Play Store in this case, or F-Droid. F-Droid I don't think has icon packs, but here I can download more icon packs that I can use for my system to customize it from the App Store directly. So let's leave it to the default one. And we have here a font. We can also set the font. We have two options here, Roboto and OnePlus Slate. Let me go to OnePlus Slate. hit apply, and now everything's in the OnePlus Lite mode. Then we have sounds and vibrations. Nothing new here. The only thing that's new is the Dirac audio tuner, which is something like another alternative to Dolby Vision, I would say. And we have the option for dynamic, film, or music. Dynamic would like change dynamically depending on what you're listening to. I would really prefer to set it to music only because it raises the bass a bit. And film is like a bit too thin for me. So I have it usually on music. But if you want to adjust it and you have headphones attached to it via Bluetooth, you can, of course, go to the equalizer here. It's not enabled here right now, and you can then equalize it the way you like it to be. Then we have earphone mode itself, which allows us to set autoplay, automatically resume playing music when connecting to earphones, and a smart answer for Bluetooth as well, when the incoming call will be automatically answered while connection to a Bluetooth audio device is enabled. And this is also pretty interesting. And of course, Bluetooth absolute volume can be synced up as well when I connect my Bluetooth devices. Very nice is the live caption option that I didn't see on Android devices, on other Android devices, which allows me automatically caption my speech, for example. So if I speak something, or if I'm listening to something, it automatically creates subtitles for this. I can enable this here, and now captions will appear when speech is detected. I'm not sure if it'll detect something right now. Anyway, I have the option for this to set the language. So various different languages, English only at the moment. More languages will come soon. You can see you can only choose English here. We can hide profanity if we like to, so swear words. And we can show the sound label and some other things. This is pretty handy if you're watching some videos, for example, on YouTube, and your headphones ran out of power or something like this, and you still want to watch the YouTube video, but the automatic caption system of YouTube didn't really work, or you're not watching even YouTube videos but other videos, and without subtitles you can enable this. It will automatically then create those subtitles, which is pretty interesting, and you can have the volume turned off, which is also pretty interesting because it's using it's using an internal version of this. Basically, we have a phone ringtone and vibration. We have notification and sound and vibration, where we can set our ringtones. Nothing new in here. Also system sounds and touch vibrations is known. Then buttons and gestures. We have alert slider button here, where we can change the free positions, the free options here of the alert slider that we can see here, which allows me to go to a silent, vibration, or ringer mode. So I go to vibration now I go to ringer mode, and I can go to silent again, and I have the option to set this up here. What does it do when I change it? Here you can see these are the settings that I can take. Then navigation bar and gestures, where I can choose between back, home, and recent buttons, like this, as you can see here on the bottom. Or if I want navigation gestures, just like on Android 10, and here you can see the instructions, how it works. And pretty neat and really cool. And I have also the option to hide the bottom bar. As you can see, this little pill disappears here, so I can make it disappear completely, just like on Huawei, Xiaomi devices that don't show it by default, or you have it shown there, so as an indicator reminder. Quick gestures here are as well free finger screenshot, for example. So I can make a screenshot like this with 3 fingers, just swiping down to create a screenshot instead of pressing the power button and the volume rocker down. And double take to wake, I have the option in here, and music control as well. Draw with 2 fingers to play or pause. Draw equals and greater than or lower than sign for previous or next track, which is also pretty interesting. And I have some other drawing options here as well that I can use, like drawing an O and an S for starting something. Like, for example, I could for the S, what could I do for the S? Open camera. And now let me go out of here. and now it starts the camera if I draw an S on the standby screen, which is pretty interesting. So these are some of the options. I have to unlock now again. And these are some of the options that you can set here for gestures. Double tap to wake, I think, is pretty also interesting. But usually I use double tap to open it up. I can show you. If I double tap now, it will go to the lock screen directly, and I can unlock here. If I disable this and I double tap now, you can see I only see my notifications. I see the time, and I have the indicator for unlocking if I want to. Depends on what you want to, but I like to have this disabled. It saves a bit more energy if I double tap it by accident. Then we can go into double click the power button. We can even configure this. By default, it is set to camera, so a double tap on the power button will start the camera directly if you want to have quick access to the camera. And I have to unlock it again to go in here. Then we have press and hold to the power button. What should happen then? We can either have the voice assistant being open. I think this is the default option nowadays, but I like to have the power menu open. And the next thing is apps and notification, pretty much the same thing that we had on every Android version. So we have the option to see our latest recently used apps here. We can go in here, can disable them, force stop and so on. And we have some screen time options here as well that show us the screen time of which apps, and notification options for apps, app permissions and so on. So basically Android stuff. Special app access is especially also configurable here. Security and lock screen, nothing big new here as well. We have screen lock, we have fingerprint options, we have face unlock. If you want to use face unlock, this is, I think, a special thing that not every Android system has, and Android by default doesn't have. So we have the option to choose face unlock in here. And device admin apps, we can choose here some apps for this, and that's basically standard default Android settings. Privacy features here as well. Permission manager, we have to set various different permissions for different applications. And we have show passwords here if you want to display characters briefly as you type, or if you don't like this, you can disable it, and then if you type in a password, you only get these little dots without the characters briefly appearing, so you have no confirmation if you really typed in the right password. Your lock screen option here as well, that we can choose show all notifications, show private content only when unlocked, or don't show notifications at all on the lock screen. And we have some advanced options here as well, like device personalization services that we can learn here, and autofill services from Google that we can configure if you want to for different accounts, activity controls, ads, and so on. Then under battery, we have the option to see a battery overview here. With all the applications and usage, nothing new here. The only thing that is interesting is the battery saver mode, which allows us to turn on the battery. We have even an option for a schedule here, like for example based on a routine. This is by default, so it learns your routine and then turns on the battery mode. And based on percentage, we can do as well here, like if you want to, 5% or something like this. And we can turn it on right now if you want to, and turn off when fully charged. Of course, we can do this as well. So battery saver, battery optimization is also very interesting, where we can set various different optimization levels for applications. So if you want to not have Amazon Music running all the time, we can say optimize or don't optimize, or intelligent control, where it tries to learn which applications to keep and don't delete or don't close in the background. And optimized charging is also here available, a nice feature, usually by Sony phones, and I think the iPhone also has this option where it just optimizes the charging pattern accordingly to your usage habits to reduce the battery load and extend battery life. So it will not charge to 100% as quick as possible, but charge to 80%, and then it will stop charging when it notices, okay, it is in the middle of the night, and usually you wake up at 8 or 9 o'clock, and it will then finish charging up for this time, so you can go out with a fully charged phone. Then you have last full charge here 4 hours ago. You can see, and 3 hours and 34 minutes I'm using this phone already. And we have some other options here as well, just like, for example, the storage option, where we can see lots of storage information here. We can free up some space, which allows us to remove some stuff. So this is, I think, also a specialty of OnePlus OxygenOS, where we can clean up our stuff. We have some accounts here. We can set up various different accounts. OnePlus account, for example, we can add new accounts. Nothing new in here. Digital well-being and parental controls. This is the normal Google one. Google services as well. Utilities, which is interesting. We have some quick launch options here that allows us to use some quick launchers. Turn on quick launch. Long press the fingerprint indicator area to launch quick pay activate apps when the phone is unlocked. So you can use the fingerprint area for switching between different apps here. The instructions: continue to hold your finger after unlocking to open quick launch panel. So we can, I can demonstrate this to you here. Continue to hold, and now I have a voice search I can go to, or I can, now it's going to voice search, or I can do other things. Let me do this again. And now I can switch to creating a new node or a new event. And yeah, this is, or exit if I want to. So this is a quick launch option if you press and hold on the fingerprint. And I have shortcut settings where I can add new shortcuts if I want to have new, and you can see there a lot of here. Just for example, taking a selfie, a video, and so on. If I'm usually doing videos with this, create an alarm and so on. Various different things that I can open up and freely configure here. Even apps that I can open up if I like to use this way of opening up quick launching applications. Parallel apps, so I have the option to, there's only a limited number of apps that support this: Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. If I have multiple accounts, I can have them in parallel here with parallel apps. App Locker, which allows me to set a PIN here or re-enter my PIN and then lock certain apps in the App Locker, which encrypts the app itself, so I have to enter a PIN or use my fingerprint to open those apps. Schedule power on and off, so if I want to restart or power off the device if I'm going to sleep, I can set this up here. Then pocket mode, prevent accidental screen touches or fingerprint operations when the phone is in your pocket. This can be enabled, is very, very useful to be enabled. It's using then the sensors to detect if it's in the pocket, and if it's in the pocket, it will not react to screen interactive actions eventually. Then OnePlus Switch, which allows me to switch to a new OnePlus device. I have to agree here. I'm a new phone, I'm an old phone, and you know the trick. I always showed this already to, I think it was LG, and then also Huawei phones, how this works. And yeah, it's nothing completely new, but it helps you to switch from one device to another. OnePlus Laboratory, where I have the option to enable some interesting new technology that is in beta status basically, and lab features, so experimental features, just like, for example, enable dark tone in more apps, which allows me to use the dark mode in more apps. I can enable this here. In the future, there might be, with every update, come other experimental laboratory features as well. And quick reply in landscape mode is also possible, for example, to activate for Instagram, where this is possible, and you can see here how it will look like for the quick reply in landscape mode. Yeah, those are the utilities, and this is basically everything. The rest system is the normal thing that you know from Android, with, I think, the exception of OTG storage support, turn off after 10 minutes of inactivity. So if I have a USB drive connected here, I have the option to turn it off automatically after 10 minutes. I'm not using it, to save some battery. Multiple users, also nothing new here. And RAM boost is, I think, a new thing. I didn't see it on Android before, which enables you to automatically reduce the usage of RAM, automatically intelligently figure out which applications to close in the background, and so on. I can enable this here as well, optimize RAM utilization. And system updates, I can go in here, which uses this OxygenOS system update tool. And I have also the option to configure automatically downloading updates via Wi-Fi or doing a local update, which allows me to move the installation package into root directory if I don't have internet access all the time with my phone, for example, and a friend just gives me the update package, for example. This is possible as well. And update features like view update features, which allows me to view the update feature set for local file. And this is pretty much everything. And we can see the update log for the last update here. And yeah, this is pretty much everything. There's some tips and tricks as well, which is also OxygenOS and OnePlus specific. And you can go here to get started, get some usage tips and common questions. So this is everything for this comprehensive summary. What's special in the settings of the OnePlus Nord in this case. Most of this time this will apply also to other devices like the OnePlus 7, OnePlus 7T, OnePlus 8, OnePlus 8 Pro, and in future OnePlus 8T probably, or even the 8T Pro. I hope you enjoyed this little overview of the OnePlus Nord and its settings in OxygenOS. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And that's everything for this video. Until the next time, see you.